What would life be like without white flour for baking? Of course, I love my whole wheat flour and it's very, very healthy. But sometimes you just need some white flour. Even in my whole wheat bread, I put a little bit of this in to make it a little bit lighter. So after years of trying to figure this out, we've figured out the best way to store it. Hey, Provident Preppers, I'm Jonathan.
And I'm Kylene. Have you ever opened up a number 10 can of flour and the flour smelled and tasted like the can? This is actually potato flakes and it doesn't have that problem, but flour sure does. Now, we just found a great sale on flour at the K-Slot sale. It was $6.99 a bag. And if you know, for flour right now, it's even at Costco, it's over $12 a bag.
Yeah, this is good.
So now is a good time to stock up on it, but we need to make sure that that good sale isn't ruined because we didn't package it appropriately. So after all these years, we've figured out for us the best way to store flour.
Right.
Now, some people would dump it directly in this bag, but you'll still have some issues with a little bit of weird odor and taste. Nowhere near as bad as the number 10 can. But let's think about it. The store always packages it in
Paper.
paper. Why? Because it doesn't absorb the smell. The flour won't absorb any off tastes or odors or anything. The problem with the paper is that it's alone not good for long-term storage. But we've totally solved that problem. We've got this figured out.
We do.
Let's review the steps that will make sure you have quality flour in your storage when you need it. Number 1, purchase quality. It's not going to get any better in storage.
Number 2, you want to repackage it promptly. That means get it done, get it home and get it done.
Number 3, clean hands, clean surfaces. You're welcome to use gloves, but any type of contamination that you get in the product could mean problems in storage.
Number 4, make sure you use a good quality oxygen absorber and make sure it's sized right. This makes sure that no bugs can live in it and that the oxidation process is eliminated.
We really like Pack Fresh USA. It's our favorite. Fantastic oxygen absorbers. And these are 2 of the 5-gallon Mylar bags, and that's what we use. This one has a zip closure, which is fantastic. And if I were putting this in a bucket and dumping the flour inside, this is the one that I would use because after I open it, it would need to be heat sealed. But once I open it, I could reclose it over and over again. But that's not what we want to do for this application. Today, we are using the one without the zip closure. And the reason why is because it's less expensive. This is a 7 mil Mylar bag, which is a really good quality. Now, shall we show you really quick how fast we can package this? The first thing that we're gonna do, we're not gonna take the flour out of the bag at all. I'm just gonna kind of shake the flour away from the paper just a little bit. I'm going to make a little incision right here for the oxygen absorber. This is, like John mentioned, it's a 2000 cc oxygen absorber, which is perfect for the 5-gallon Mylar bags. We're just gonna put it in there and we're going to tape it shut. The reason why I'm taping it shut is just to keep the flour from coming out. And then we've got our little Mylar bag. We're just going to slide the entire bag in here. I'm gonna push out a little bit of extra air if I can. And then, this is just a hair straightener, not even a special tool, right? I just tap it in a few different places along here. And then I'm just going to make sure that I seal all of this. The Mylar, when it is exposed to heat, it melts. And so you've got this perfect seal where no air can escape. Well, no air can get in. That's how quick and easy it is, except
Labeling.
labeling.
It's always so much fun though when we find something that's not labeled and we have to sit and try and guess what it is based on.
Not fun. You want to label with what the product is. This is unbleached all-purpose flour, and the date is 2024. Ideally, we want to rotate through our flour within 5 years. You're okay 10, but if you watch the video, if you click the card in the corner, you'll see a video where we took a bunch of old flour and made bread with it. And old flour, some of it may be edible, but you're not going to want to eat it. So keep it rotated. Like this is probably about a year's supply for us.
Right. Yeah.
And that works. That works for us. And we'll just keep rotating through it. Now with these bags, one of the reasons why we think it's very inexpensive for us to do this is because when we go to rotate it, I will just cut this end off. We will pull out this bag of flour and we'll put the new one in. And when we pull out the bag of flour, we're dumping it in this bucket. This bucket stays in the bottom of our pantry and it's got this Gamma Seal lid. Whenever I need flour, that's how I access it. So it makes rotation super easy. And then I can reuse this Mylar bag. It gets a little bit smaller every time, right? But then it makes it cost effective to use these.
Now, let's not forget step number 6, a secondary protection container. This needs to go in some kind of a hard case. A Costco tote is what we use because mice will make fast work of this. If it's just sitting down in a storeroom somewhere, not that we have any mice, but if we ever got one in there, it would eat through that in seconds.
We have seen so many tragedies. Yep. In fact, I will leave a link to one of the videos where we show some of it, and it's just super, super sad. So protect it from rodents, but also by putting it in a Costco tote or some type of a tote or a bucket or something, that means that you're protecting it from the environment. So this couldn't accidentally get punctured and allow the oxygen to get in. It just makes it safer. So I would always make sure I put it in a tote. The thing about if we were to put it all in this tote right now, it would be really hard to carry it to the storage room.
We could fit about 5 of these in there. That's 125 pounds. That is more than I would like to do on a regular basis. So it will get very heavy. So probably best to put the container where you're going to use it.
Then add the bag. You see how easy this is. And when you open this bag, there will be no smell. There will be no odor. It will be perfect and ready for you to use. In the time that it takes to drive to the store and buy this, we're able to package this appropriate for longer term storage.
Now for the question of the day. What other questions do you have about storing your pantry staples? Share with us and let's get it solved. And thanks for being part of the solution.